So a trade broke last night during the Thursday night football game that definitely altered the landscape of the NFC, as arguably, when healthy, the most talented running back in the NFL got traded from the Carolina Panthers, who are in an all-out tank mode, to the San Francisco 49ers, one of the more prolific running teams in the NFL, who's been one of the most prolific rushing attacks without a superstar running back. When you combine the two, it makes it an incredibly intriguing situation. So today, we are going to be rebuilding the San Francisco 49ers with Christian McCaffrey. All right, let's take a look at our squad here. Christian McCaffrey just stealing Jeff Wilson's number. He's now 22 in the red. That's a fun trade. I mean, my thoughts on the trade, is that enough to move the needle for the Niners to get them off the 3-3 record that they are right now, the pace of being a 500 team? That's also where we're going to be starting this rebuild week 7, as the Niners are 3-3 atop the NFC West. I don't know. I feel like the Niners have always kind of been one of those teams that have found great success with cheap running backs. Looking at Elijah Mitchell, looking at Jeff Wilson. Do you really need a premier running back? Plus, it's like, are you writing off Elijah Mitchell because of injuries? Because you're getting the most injury-prone running back in the NFL. And I love Christian McCaffrey, arguably my favorite running back in the NFL. But it's a fun trade. So what we are going to do, we're going to honor Trey Lance being out for the year. We'll go Jimmy Garoppolo as the starter. But everyone else, if there's like an injury in IR, we'll just do the big one there. Because I think on the defensive side, I think Verrett might be out. I think Al-Shaair is out. I think Kinlaw is out. And Hurst. There's no start today option in Madden anymore. Don't know why. So they kind of find the middle ground between just massacring my team and not. We'll do the big one. We'll have Trey Lance with a broken leg. He won't be our quarterback till next year. We'll rock and roll with Jimmy Garoppolo this season. And we'll see just how far this 49ers team can go with Christian McCaffrey. Look at you got Debo, 91 X Factor. He's a beast. Brandon Ayuk kind of breaking out a little bit this season. Great playmaker, great speed ability out of Arizona State, finally getting the opportunities there. So he's a nice wide receiver. You got George Kittle, who, arguably is still like in that conversation for the best tight end. Even though he's underutilized, almost feels like he's a tackle at points. He's everything you want in a franchise tight end. Offensive line, the interior is pretty goddamn awful, but McGlinchey is solid, and there's an argument to be made that Trent Williams is the best tackle in the NFL. Defensively, it's led by Fred Warner on the linebacking core and Nick Bosa on that front. Eric Armstead is solid. We'll be going with the rookie Drake Jackson, get him some reps at defensive end. We got Ward, Verrett, Ambry Thomas had a start ev, so that's kind of interesting. Hufanga, a little bit of a breakout. He'd be a guy, given how well he's actually played in real life for the 49ers this year. It'd be cool for him to get a couple dev trades, him to develop into the next great safety on the back end of this defense. But this is the Christian McCaffrey rebuild. I hope he plays very well in this scheme. And let's get into the remainder of the 2022 NFL season and see just how far Christian McCaffrey moves the needle for the 49ers. With this team, even with Jimmy Garoppolo, I firmly believe we should be winning the NFC West. We should be making the playoffs and going on a run. Let's see if we can actually do that. Before we get into year number 1, I need to give a quick shout out to today's video sponsor. Now that we're almost midway through the football season, hopefully you've got an idea of how teams are stacking up against one another. So why not add a little fun to the mix? Today's video sponsor is DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, and they are dishing out an awesome offer to all of their new customers. All new customers need to do is sign up using promo code C4. Bet $5 on any pregame money line wager. That's all I bet. I only bet money lines. Get those spreads out of here. And if you hit, you receive an additional $200 in free bets. That's right, new customers who bet at least $5 on any team to win straight up will get an additional $200 in free bets if their bet hits. Plus, with same game parlays, you can combine multiple bets from the same game to give yourself a shot at even bigger winnings all season long. For those in states whose sports betting is not yet available, don't forget about DraftKings Daily Fantasy, where they've been innovating even more ways to win some cash this football season. Don't forget that basketball season tips off soon, and DraftKings has tons of ways for you to get in on the action. DraftKings has so many ways to make watching sports more fun. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers use promo code C4 and receive $200 in free bets if their pregame moneyline bet hits after placing a $5 wager. That's promo code C4 only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Thanks again for sponsoring today's video. Early look at our contract extensions we have to consider here in year 1. We have $43 million. There's actually a little bit more salary cap than I would have expected. Some underrated players. I think Juwan Jennings is a solid wide receiver. We got Jeff Wilson, Al-Shaair at linebacker. I mean, all these guys are just kind of are they needle movers? You know, like what is their exact? I think Mike McGlinchey should get top priority right now. We'll actually give him, see if we can get him 4 years, pretty much for the remainder of this rebuild. Got him locked up. Everybody else, though, for the most part, I think we're going to do best with kind of rolling into the offseason with what cap we have left. And then if we do want to bring back Al-Shaair, if he goes up a dev, or any of these guys have a little bit of a breakout year, we can easily negotiate before the open market hits. Ooh, it's been a little bit up and down of a season. Some wins, some losses. Some wins we should have won by more. Some losses we should have won by a lot than what we lost. But we have a breakout for Hufanga, who's one of the big-time playmakers on the defensive side of the ball. 6-7. We're looking to get back to 500. 7-7. We lose to the Seahawks. And Hufanga, wow. Doom and gloom right now. Now, I do know for a fact the 49ers have arguably the worst playbooks in Madden 23. We might need to change that up. Give this thing a chance. At the end of year one, it wasn't enough. The CMC trade, who I think he's now up to a 99 overall, getting back to the 99 club, which he is. Now we'll be able to, go into the offseason. We're able to throw Jimmy G under the bus for this unsuccessful year. We'll have a healthy Trey Lance coming back next season. And then, if this doesn't work, then year 3, we can look at maybe switching up the playbooks a little bit, maybe finding something that's a little bit better. Just because I've seen some people say some tests, and they tried out all the playbooks, and the Niners were easily the worst in Madden 23. I don't know if you guys have also heard that. Let me know in the comments if you've heard similar. But this year was a little bit of a write-off. Started at 3-3. I mean, Jimmy G wasn't bad. 32 touchdowns, 8 picks. Not the worst that I've seen. CMC, some of that was obviously with the Carolina Panthers, but 1,400 yards rushing, 19 touchdowns to go along with, 37 catches, 400 yards, 2 touchdowns, over 20 total. Very good numbers there. Ayuk, 699 and 6, 900 yards, 7 touchdowns for Kittle, over 1,000 for Debo. And on the defensive side of the ball, Fred Warner was a tackle machine. Dre Greenlaw, over 100 tackles. Hufanga, over 100 tackles. We got 15 sacks from Nick Bosa to go along with 12 TFLs, 20 TFLs, 6 sacks for Eric Armstead. So solid years around for those guys. 2 picks, Greenlaw, Ward, and Ward. Kind of rounding out the team there. Looking at the yearly awards here from year 1, very quickly, Tom Brady is the MVP. And in the NFC, we got Cooper Kupp, Tank Lawrence, Kenneth Walker, Thibodeau, Tom Brady, Zeke Elliott. Runner-up is Christian McCaffrey. So we know the potential is there for him to absolutely tear up here in this rebuild. Nick Bosa came in number 3 for D lineman of the year. But I think, just a fresh reset this offseason. Get Trey Lance healthy. I think that is going to be what's best for this Niners team going forward. An epic Super Bowl here in year 1 as the Chiefs knock off the Green Bay Packers 42-39. Patrick Mahomes is back on top as the Super Bowl MVP. Looking at this 49ers squad going into the offseason as it relates to dev traits, we have Deebo Samuel lost his X Factor, which sucks. Not what you want to see. And on the defensive side, Eric Armstead from star up to superstar. Dre Greenlaw from star up to superstar. Hufanga from normal up to a star dev. But still stings losing that X Factor for Debo. Suffered some retirements. Robbie Gould is gone. But more importantly, our 99 left tackle, Trent Williams, has decided to hang it up. I know people really wanted them to patch free agency. I don't want to say they overdid it because it is more of a realistic free agency. But my God, man, there is just the same junk players. Like, we need someone that's like, all right, we lost Trent Williams. Who's going to replace him? Jaron Christian? We need to improve the interior offensive line. Let's get a couple 30-year-olds. We're down bad here a little bit as far as improving the squad. We're going to look at Nasir Adderley at safety. Even then, I don't think we're going to be able to, I don't want to get in a bidding war for him. So we have like $90 million of salary cap, and like literally not one guy was like, that'd be an interesting guy. Like maybe Davenport, but how many times are we going to have to sign him in rebuilds because there's no one else there in year 1? I'd rather just have that cap roll over, and maybe we'll be a lot more aggressive next season. But now a lot of pressure on the draft where we have like 0 picks. It's not too often we decline a 5th-year option, and I'm not saying that I'm not going to bring back Kinlaw, but I don't want him on that, like, whatever, $10, $12 million. He needs to prove himself, and if he does this year, I'll give him a long-term extension. I will, however, pick up the 5th-year option for Brandon Ayuk. I think he is going to be a very important player for us. Our wide receiver 2, that's in the plans. alongside Deebo Samuel. That's who I want to be our wide receivers for this rebuild. All right, we're going right to the 5th round. I spent probably the last 45 minutes just literally trying to cross-check what little players we could get. I wanted someone. I had 2 guards that looked like they could actually move to tackle. They were gone. Like they were. One of them was protected UDFA. He's already gone. So the single best guy that's here in the 5th round. I mean, technically, you know, we need to find Jimmy Ward's replacement. Miles Beckford here out of Oregon State. We got B hit power, C tackle, chance B man, B zone. It's just more so going with the combine. Hopefully he's a solid. Oh, okay. We'll take that. I think the rest, we have 2 7th round picks. Those are going to be absolute crapshoots. But here, at least we found the one guy that was like, all right, he should be a good player. We'll just show my suffering. Got Glenn Harrison. You don't want to see the F run block, but the fact there's still A, B, B at this point in the draft, you got to kind of almost just swing on these dudes. Oh my God, 78 strength. That's brutal. Another just, you know, what we got left? We got Nick Patterson. Not a great combine. Literally no one with a good combine left. We're just going to get guys that hopefully can add depth to the squad. I think with the extremely limited draft capital, you know, last 2 picks kind of stay. I mean, 65 is not brutal. But the fact that we still walked away with a 74 hidden dev, and likely he's going to be a day 1 starter, we're going to take that. But this also might be an upcoming write-off year because free agency was god-awful, and we just couldn't replace what was leaving out that door. So we got a couple 1-year flyers, almost like making ends meet here. We got Eric Fisher and Brown, formerly of the Lions, as free agent. I mean, it's a work in progress. I'm thinking McGlinchey and Burford could be kind of long. I don't know. It's bad, man. We have a lot of money. Let's just hope next year's offseason is plentiful. But we're going to be on with Trey Lance now, running the show here under center. Hopefully that kind of elevates the offense here a little bit. CMC, Elijah Mitchell, Debo, Brandon Ayuk. I mean, in a perfect world, maybe we could flip. Like, I just don't know what kind of value Elijah Mitchell would hold, honestly, especially if we're trying to upgrade some of these positions. On the defensive side, the front is good. I think all things considered, the front is solid. Beckford will be starting at free safety with Hufanga, Thomas, Ward, Womack, who shined in the preseason IRL. You know, we got our, you know, they have a weird pass rusher scheme here for the linebackers, so that's what Anthony Elson will be. But we'll probably run a lot of nickel with just Fred Warner and Greenlaw on the field. So, I mean, I'm gonna say I'm prepared for this year to be a slight write-off because we just have so much salary cap and weren't able to spend it, but we could surprise. Honestly, I usually sim week to week. This year, I was like, it's a write-off. Let's just sit it. We're 6-1. Huh? What? We have breakout scenarios. For one, Drake Jackson, normal dev defensive end here at the midseason. He's looking to get off that normal dev up to a star. That'd be huge if that's just, you know, a little bit of a developmental option at pass rush and we don't have to, you know, sign someone in free agency because really we're going to have to extend Nick Bosa here this year. That's going to be very expensive. So Drake Jackson would be nice. We have Debo looking to get back up to that X factor. I don't know if he should have lost it. I'm going to say, actually, whoa. Let's get our scouting focus here kind of figured out. Again, I think it's we need interior linemen, and that is the weakness of the draft. You know, I guess we'll go D tackle in case we don't want to bring back Kinlaw, but it's just a terrible draft role for what we really need to try to improve. It is what it is. Kind of comes with the territory. So we have the Seattle Seahawks here, week 8, 6-1. Looking to get that 7th victory of the season, but more importantly, would love to get a depth chart. We get the dub. We have a breakout player. This is Drake Jackson. This is the big one, and he did hit. At that price point, he can hit. Star Dev, 5,000 XP. Yeah, love to see it. Also, with 38 points, might have a chance of Debo hitting that. It's unlikely. Damn it. And he roasts me. Oh, for our free agent, you got to start with the big dog. Big dog, Bosa. He's really inside. We're going to give him 4 years. Want him for the remainder of the rebuild. Easy. Easy. He's one of the best pass rushers in this game. Outside of that, Kinlaw is an interesting one. I almost feel like we could do better on the open market, but if he'll take this 3-year, 19, just under 20 mil, I can't complain. Just continue to hope with his development, continue to hope that he doesn't lose that dev trait. Everyone else, peace out. And to close out year 2, almost against all odds. I mean, our team's not bad. We still have good ratings, but we're also, you know, not third. Put it this way. I'm not gonna argue the result because with Debo, CMC, George Kittle, you know, Trey Lance, being, tough to stop. And the guys we have on defense, we have X Factor, we have superstars. We should have a good record. But I think the argument can be said, there's so many holes on this team where we've done other rebuilds where we have stacked squads that would dream for 13 wins. Weird. I'm surprised. But let's take a look here at the stats very quickly. Who did what? Not a great year. Trey Lance, 29 touchdowns. Kind of stinks there. Did get some rushing yards. 10 touchdowns. Elijah Mitchell. CMC did the damn thing. Almost 1,400 rushing yards. 14 tutties. 1,010 for Debo. Definitely, just the passing offense struggled here. Fred Warner crushed it. 119 tackles. 4 interceptions for him. 21.5 sacks for Nick Bosa. Good God. 9.5 sacks for Eric Armstead. 5 picks. Charvarius Ward. 4 for Fred Warner. Hufanga's there. Where's the rookie? Where's Mr. Beckford? 59 tackles for Beckford. Had the hidden dev. It is star. That's fine. I'll take that 5th round pick all day. Wonder where he'll be in contention for defensive rookie of the year. Jalen Hurts is the MVP in the NFC Ops Players Goes Cup. We got Aaron Donald. Where's Bosa? Runner-up? Second runner-up? Third. Who's this guy? Chris Barnes. What? Probably just had a bunch of tackles, I assume. For defensive rookie of the year, went to Verndon with... Wow, our guy didn't even make the short list. Okay. See how it is. They hate us because they ain't us. We have Dallas in the first round. Let's handle business because it's the Cowboys. We're better than them. We know we're better than them. We know that we're better than them. Year 2 recap. The Falcons defeat the Texans 28-23. Falcons are a dangerous team. What I am going to have to do, though, as we take a look at our roster, there have been some regressions yet again. George Kittle is down to a superstar from his X Factor. On the defensive side, we have Eric Armstead becomes a new X Factor. Dre Greenlaw, however, lost his dev trait. What we are going to do, because I feel like this is going to be a trend, and we need to do everything that we possibly can. And I know that while the wins were there, the Niners playbook sucks. We're gonna go to a playbook that's still gonna be able to maximize the skill set, but just far superior in almost every other direction. We are going to go with the Eagles playbook. We can actually spend our money here this season. We're going to try to be aggressive. We got Chris Lindstrom, must have got lineman of the year because he's up to a superstar. Really tough bid there from the Giants, so it's not a lock. We got Jedrick Wills at left tackle. Not really interested, so we're going to have to overpay. And we got Darnay Holmes come in, should be able to round out our corner room. I did think about maybe Isaiah Simmons at linebacker, but with Greenlaw and Fred Warner and primarily running nickel, we don't need 3 expensive linebackers. And yes, sir, able to get all 3 of our top targets. That is a big ways to growing and making this offensive line as legit as it needs to be for this offense to fire on all cylinders. The last piece of business that we are going to do, this is actually maybe a hot take, but I don't think Trey Lance is going to break out just yet. And in the event that he does, don't want him to be on that contract. We could save ourselves a lot of money if Trey Lance is only kind of mid this year and we re-sign him to a 4-year, $50 million deal versus pick up the 5th-year option. He balls out this year, and then next season, while he's a superstar or something crazy like that, he wants $190 million. So I'm going to gamble that we can stick with Trey Lance, or either he sucks and we move on, moving to the Eagles playbook, and we get him and save some money here by not picking up the 5th-year option. So we're kind of, with the moves on the offensive line, wide receiver, getting that wide receiver 3, maybe a linebacker, kind of our needs. And looking here, we have a 1st-round projected wide receiver. Don't know if he's going to be freaky or not, but the fact that lower catching and good combine tends to yield pretty good wide receivers. You got the B release. It's a little bit of a shot in the dark, but he was the fastest wide receiver at the combine. His pro day wasn't as good, but we're going to grab Newsome. He's fast. You really were looking for a dev trait there, though. Luckily, there's still the linebacker I was kind of hoping would be here. Kevin Thomas at Kansas State. A pursuit, A tackling, a chance. Obviously, wish we had a little bit more scouting at A zone coverage. I'm hoping it's, even if it's C. The fact that you combine that with a really good combine, 6 in the 40-yard dash, 2nd in the 3-cone, 2nd in the 20-yard shuttle, should be a very good player. And yes, he is. Take a look at our draft recap. Newsome, while he didn't pull a dev trait, I will take 74. He's obviously, just from a base rating standpoint, going to be our wide receiver 3. Kevin Thomas, we don't even have a left outside linebacker on our roster right now, so he is going to be a day 1 starter, and luckily he popped with the hidden dev. Rest of the draft class was normal devs, but felt good actually having a draft this year as opposed to year 1, and at least we keep our streak alive of getting at least 1 hidden dev rookie in our first 2 draft classes. Year 3 for the 49ers, and things are at least starting to take shape a little bit after a productive offseason, because we're allowed to actually have one with the players that are available. So the offense, we've improved at left tackle, Jedrick Wills. I moved Burford from guard to center, cross-trained there a little bit. I mean, he's actually even undersized for he's barely 300 pounds. So athletic playmaker, gambling that he can make that transition into the center spot, because the big fish from free agency was superstar guard Chris Lindstrom, which really completes our offensive line. While it's not perfect, you'd love to see maybe upgrades there. Overall, it's a good offensive line. Would love to see with the brand new scheme change, Debo and George Kittle get back up to an X factor, but as it stands right now, our lone X factor is really the star of the rebuild so far, Christian McCaffrey. But a lot of optimism here by not pick up the 5th-year option. Maybe that motivates Trey Lance, but ideally to lock him into a long-term deal for cheap and then have him ball out after he's already signed to that extension. Defensively, the front four, very good. 2 X factors now, Armstead and Bosa, Greenlaw, Warner, and Thomas, our second-round draft pick, the linebacking core, Beckford and Hufanga at safety. Thomas, Ward, and Darnay Holmes comes from the Giants in free agency, make our secondary very well rounded. A little bit of a sleeper secondary. So my optimism here for year 3 is, we've been making the playoffs, but I want to see not only making the playoffs, but let's be an exciting team. Let's put up some big-time numbers here in rebuild year 3. Year 3, 5-4, right in the hunt for the NFC West. Contract extensions, $86 million gives us a whole lot of wiggle room, but it's all about the gamble. I'm not gonna lie, that's not as cheap as I was hoping it would be, but it's still probably gonna be. I still think we're gonna be further ahead in terms of his contract being less doing it this way than if we would have given him the 5th-year option, had to pay him next year. It's kind of my line of thinking. Maybe not, but I feel kind of optimistic that would be the case. We got Aaron Banks. I'll give him a 2-year deal if he wants it. Good. If not, replaceable. Ambry Thomas at corner. He's been a solid developmental guy for us. He's looking for a 5-year. What the honestly, if he takes that, sure. You need 7-year deal to sign on the dotted line. Hufanga at safety. He's been great for us. We'll throw him 4 years. For sure. I think I would be awesome for him to go up superstar. Eric Armstead has been a good veteran, solid veteran for us. I would love to maybe give him a 2-year neutral type deal. See where that really brings us. He wants a longer commitment. I just don't think we're in the business of getting rid of X factors at this point. Dre Greenlaw, 4 years, $60 million. Not getting shorter deals. 4 years is a short deal? What are you talking about here? We got Charvarius Ward. We'll give him a 2-year deal, get him to sign. Brandon Ayuk at wide receiver. We'll offer him a 4-year player friendly. We actually, oh my God. Okay, we straight up can't re-sign everybody. We're going to have to make some tough calls. Okay. I think all things considered, we're going to withdraw the offer from Eric Armstead. And with that, we'll see what Dre Greenlaw is saying. He's looking for more years. That's what he was. So we'll go player friendly, offer him a 5-year deal, get him locked up. That brings our cap down to 17 mil. What does that kind of leave us for Brandon Ayuk? We can go player friendly, 4-year, $56 million. He wants more. So I'm actually going to let those contracts just wait till we get that influx at the end of the season, so that makes re-signing Ayuk. Because I don't want to let him walk, all things considered. Even Armstead come back for both of those players. But we end up year 3 with an NFC West title, 11-6, having the tiebreaker over the Seattle Seahawks. And we get an opportunity to rematch Dallas from 2 years ago, where they kind of won and done us in the playoffs. This is our first year with the Philadelphia Eagles playbook, and slightly better. That was the whole point. Eagles playbook is just like a good dual threat quarterback playbook. It's not overpowered, but that's a better stat line for Trey Lance than what he had a year ago on both fronts, I think. CMC, very productive, 1,300 yards, 12 touchdowns. They also go with 400 yards receiving. We got 8-10 Danny Gray, 8-5 for Debo, 9-8 for Kittle, and of course the guy that we don't have under contract is the only guy that goes over 1,000 yards, and Brandon Ayuk. Tackle machine and Fred Warner, outstanding year. That's like an all-pro type year. 5 interceptions, 135 tackles, 115 tackles for Dre Greenlaw, who we re-signed. We got 14 sacks, Eric Armstead, 12.5 for Nick Bosa, 7 from Javon Kinlaw, his best year so far of the rebuild. 3 interceptions for Darnay Holmes, his second on the team behind Fred Warner, so that's a good investment, getting him as a free agent. That's a really, really stellar year coming over from the New York Giants. Yearly awards MVP goes to Justin Herbert, who's left the Chargers and gone to the Falcons. Okay, Trey Lance, number 5 in the MVP race. So, I mean, we just got a guy that's top 5 in the MVP race for under, what was that, 100 some million? Like, it was, I think we can look back in hindsight, that was a good decision, the way that we handled his contract. For the individual awards, we're not seeing any 49ers. I'm actually seeing a couple Dallas Cowboys, which might not bode the best here for this first playoff run. But let's go for it, man. Looking for a run. That's the key. I don't want to be one and done. The Cowboys are just dumb. I almost even think, even though we all know Dallas, and if you're a Dallas Cowboy fan, you support me, there's a chance that you're probably like one of the good Dallas Cowboy fans. But I think Dallas fans can realize they're one of the most delusional fan bases in the world. And even Dallas Cowboy fans are like, all right, Dallas is a little too good in Madden Sim. We're going to give one better offer than what we last did for Brandon Ayuk. I'm going to give him 5 years, 92, absolutely overpay, and he wants to do a team. So we're going to be looking for another wide receiver. We're going to probably be able to take that amount of money and apply it to, there's going to be better. We're going to have something better there for sure. Eric Armstead, we're going to give him a 2-year deal. I think we'll be able to get him signed on the dotted line so we keep our superstar D-tackle in the building. And we got Ambry Thomas, who's looking for, I don't even know, we're going to give him this, something like that. I mean, honestly, I'd love to keep developing him. And we actually is able to sign on the dotted line. So we now go in $18 million, and ideally we can get an upgrade over Brandon Ayuk with that amount of money. All right, let's spend big time. We got Gabe Davis. Oh, I don't know where that's going to put us, but we'll try. We'll try our best, baby. Yeah! Oh. Okay, that's not looking good. That's not looking good. We'll withdraw from Gabe Davis because we got outright. Who else is there? Amari Cooper. No. DPJ, that's not an upgrade. Okay, I guess our attention goes to the draft. This is the year we need wide receivers. It's not a particular, no first rounders. Frazier looks like he could be solid. Bernard, speedster. I'm going to go Bost. Another big guy, 6'5", 230. But very fitting, man. It feels like every year we've needed something. First time we needed like an interior lineman. They were like the weakness of a draft. Now we need a wide receiver to replace Brandon Ayuk. And it's, again, not a strong class. All right, let's take a look here at the top wide receivers. We got Dorian. This is like an area we could be looking at trading back. But we might as well just get a guy. Like, that's not a great combine. That's really not at all what you're looking for. He could be a good tight end convert. We got Rashad Bernard out of Eastern Washington. So, like, Cooper Kupp. Is he Cooper Kuppy? Again, 4.3 speeds, pretty dope. The 3-cone is exactly where you want. The shuttle could be better. But elite speed, you gotta just, take your swing. Great. We're speed. Brandon Ayuk, that's what we gotta try to replace. Playmaker ability. And 97 acceleration, 96 speed definitely helps that out a little bit. And then second round, really the last good prospect that I even really want to show off is Tyree Walker out of Wisconsin. B block head, B finesse, B power, 8 tackle, combine. Very good. I'm going to be very, very disappointed if he's not at least a hidden depth player. He's not. Okay, he's still high 70s, mid 70s, steal the draft potential. But take a look at our draft recap. And, got some solid picks to kind of close it out. 70 Dixon here, the right outside, a linebacker. Hidden dev out of Notre Dame helps. Not exactly a scheme fit, but it's a weird scheme fit. We don't really need a pass rusher. Tyree Walker, the normal dev D tackle, 74. Good rating, mid 70s, kind of, what I was the floor that I was looking for a player that had that good stats with combine. Disappointed didn't get the hidden dev, but Bernard 74 as well. So there is a massive drop off because Brandon Ayuk was like 86, 87, but the speed is there, and that hidden dev could be something good, even if it's just a star. I'm excited to see what he can do with Deebo Samuel and George Kittle. Year 4 for the 49ers. So Bernard, massive shoes to fill. We're going to give him the other outside spot for Deebo so we have that guy that can stretch the field. Love to see Trey Lance take his game to another level, maybe get up to a superstar dev ahead of year 5, which could be a very crucial season. Defensively, just is what it is. Same team coming back. Weren't overly active in free agency, so the chemistry should be good for this squad as we look to get another divisional title and go on a playoff run here in year 4. Midway point of year 4, 6-2. Say what you want about, CMC's not winning the MVP or, anything crazy, like putting up ridiculous stat lines. But since he's been there, he's definitely helped elevate what is not a prolific quarterback by any means in Trey Lance, whatever, mid-80s star dev. This Diner team is just winning games. So from that standpoint, CMC helping the Niners win games, that's all you could ask for. Now, let's look at players who are looking to get signed ahead of the final year. Actually, because centers, we pretty much have come to the conclusion after all of our rebuild. Center, you just don't have a shit center. You don't need to have an elite center. So I think Burford could be a solid, we'll give him another contract, a little bit more money. But he could be a solid center for us for the remainder of this rebuild. Now we're getting into the spot, especially like Drake Jackson and stuff. They've been fine. But, like, do we save a little bit of cash and see if we can get, like, another X factor on the other side? I think that's kind of what we should be holding out for. We have CMC, 5-year deal. Let's get him for the remainder of the What? You're that interested in re-signing? You're not taking the offer? That was good? It's a little disappointing. We got Debo. I couldn't see a Niner rebuild finishing without Debo. Both these guys want a lot more money, which is kind of annoying. We gave literally $1 million more to Christian McCaffrey, and he signed. We have Debo. I think same kind of deal. Last offer, we'll just bump that up $16 million, and we'll go 11.5. Should be kind of his ballpark, which it is. I do want Burford. We'll go player friendly. And with that, we still have enough money to make one. Now, that's where it actually gets a little tough, because if the current landscape, we don't really need fullback, even though he used Juszczyk, but we're going to be losing or trying to upgrade Drake Jackson and Darnay Holmes at corner. The gamble at this point, with that, even with the little bit of influx we're going to get, is like we're going to have to draft likely a corner. If we can get a good corner in the first round, he could be our third corner, take over Darnay Holmes, and then we take whatever additional salary cap we get in the offseason, plus that 21 to try to upgrade over Jake Jackson in free agency. That is going to be our plan. Hopefully it works out. And again, the wins just keep piling up. Number 1 offense in the NFL, top 10 defense, 13-4 for the 49ers, another NFC West title. And again, man, just firing all cylinders. Trey Lance, best year of his career, 4,700 yards, 40 touchdowns, outstanding. CMC, 1,300 yards, 16. Trey Lance had 40, so he might have just got MVP. We'll see. Debo, insane. I didn't touch anything. We're still on the Eagles playbook. Niners defense, 1,300 yards, 22 touchdowns. I mean, he's pissed off. He didn't get, he lost his X factor. He's trying to get that back. The rookie Bernard went over 1,000 yards, 900 for Newsome, 8 for Kittle. As Bernard's dev is, 1 second, drum roll, please. So look, number 11. You just straight up give him his number. Superstar. Let's go. I'm not going to call him a Cooper Kupp regen because couldn't be further from like the style of the same type of wide receiver. We'll take it, man. Eastern Washington just makes NFL studs. Fred Warner, 100 tackles for Greenlaw. We got 15 sacks for Bosa, 10 from Armstead, 8 for Kinlaw, 4 picks. Charvarius Ward leading the team. Did Trey Lance get himself an MVP? Oh, he got robbed. I don't want to say he got robbed because Josh Allen probably put up something crazy. But runner-up for the MVP is Trey Lance. We have Nick Bosa, Defensive Player of the Year. I would have loved Trey Lance to get any of these awards, but he's got to get the superstar increase anyways. But it would have been nice to have a potential double boost, which would have been cool. Nick Bosa, D-Lineman of the Year. He's already an X Factor, though, so we're not going to be able to get any additional rub from how well he played this season. Now, we have the first round bye, the 1 seed in the NFC. Let's figure out who we're taking on in the divisional round. It's the Carolina Panthers. I think given the context, let's play the moments in this one. See if we can get a little CMC action. All right, the 1 seed. A revenge game opportunity. Christian McCaffrey deemed expendable by the Carolina Panthers as they embark on a rebuild. So let's see what we can do in this game. We'll pop in at some point. Let's come here in third and 4 on the 9. Maybe get a C4 special to Christian McCaffrey. That'd be kind of cool. Or maybe screen it. We'll just screen it to CMC. Trey Lance, in my opinion, biased opinion, the MVP of the NFL. Screen. Oh, he hits the juke. And he gets the touchdown. That is ridiculous from Christian McCaffrey. I mean, we've seen that firsthand in the Panthers series. He is so damn good out the backfield. But yeah, man, let's put these guys away. 14-3, 14-6. Defense holding them just to straight field goals, but our offense needs to put them under some pressure here. Our defense has been doing a good job. We got up 21-14. Really do feel like we need some more points on the board, especially for Mr. 40 touchdown Trey Lance. Going into the red zone, we get the touchdown, go up 28-21. An opportunity just to close that one out. Professional Christian McCaffrey gets on the board. Also had 69 yards receiving as the 49ers move on to the NFC Championship. All right, divisional rivalry game. Niners, Rams. Niners own the Rams. Hopefully that is reciprocated here in franchise, as it is, and the Niners in year 4, led by Christian McCaffrey and Trey Lance, have a chance to take down the toughest team to go up in the sim. You look at that, 15 picks, Patty Mahomes. A lot of turnovers there. Niners, Chiefs, Super Bowl. Let's get front row seats for this one. CMC with the Super Bowl, things you love to see. Opening drive, Niners get the touchdown. Second drive. I actually felt like I should have hopped in there and tried to get the touchdown. We get a field goal, and then we get another touchdown. 17-zip. Holy shit. You do not get out to that kind of lead against the Chiefs. Now, did we get enough points? Chiefs get a touchdown there right before halftime. And a scoreless third quarter. You already know they're going to heat up, man. We have that missed extra point, which is almost certainly going to come back to bite us in the ass as they get 21 right here. Final drive. 4th down and 3. I feel like this is just where we give it to CMC. I don't think we're going to give it to Kyle Juszczyk. We got CMC 4th and 3. His moment to shine. Block this one up. It's blocked up. He gets it. I mean, we know he doesn't break tackles. We know firsthand he doesn't break tackles. Oh my God, what is going on here, fellas? I really don't want to have to come in and do this one. But let me at least see if I can get you guys a first down to keep this, give you guys a shot. Get us into field goal range. 4th and 10. We throw it. Kittle makes the guy miss. We have our timeouts. Throws a stiff arm. He gets popped. Luckily, not a fumble. And on the other end, the Chiefs are calling a timeout because they think we're going to score. They need points to get on the other end there. Touchdown, Niners. And just like that, at least one to the good. We have one more year to see if we can run it back, make it 2 in a row. But that man right there, 22, joining the Niners. Trey Lance having an outstanding breakout season. Which, again, what did we say? We said let's not pick up the 5th-year option. I think it'll be cheaper to re-sign Trey Lance in year 4, year 3, year 4 than it would be. We'd have to be signing him right now off of a second MVP voting. It would have been $100 million more. So that worked out well for us. The Christian McCaffrey trade worked out well for the San Francisco 49ers. And now we get an opportunity to try to repeat back-to-back champs. And the fact that we've been as dominant as we have been in the regular season, I have no doubt that we'll be able to, at least for year 5, to get back into the playoffs and have an opportunity to go on a run. There we go, celebrating with this trophy. What do we got? Let's just assume who got MVP. I'm giving it to CMC over 100 yards. Followed from that Super Bowl, we have Bernard, who came out as a superstar dev from the rookie class, but Trey Lance is up to a superstar. Debo is back up to a superstar. Unfortunately, Kittle lost his superstar dev, but we're still, ahead on the dev trait. Charvarius Ward also went up to a superstar. It'd be like that. We had all of our money saying, we need an edge rusher, and Drake Jackson is arguably as good as it could get on the open market. So you know what? We won the Super Bowl with him. Whoa, excuse me. We won the Super Bowl with him, and we're going to re-sign him. We'll go very player-friendly to hopefully scare off the goddamn Giants. He's ours. He's ours. Let's try to run it back with another just great wide receiver to throw into the mix. Perry Elliott, A deep route running, B release, freak, 4.24. Give that guy a dev trade, man. Unbelievable he doesn't have a dev. And the last draft, I simmed it. I set the draft board up. And we got Zach Dillard. I suppose CMC's get up there in age. It's year 5 draft is more so. Let's just try to make a ridiculous pick, which this guy just missing the dev trait. 76, 98, 98. Yeah, pretty good draft to roll into repeat Super Bowl champs. Let's go make it 2-0. We're manifesting it, man. Back-to-back Super Bowl champs. It's going to happen. Trey Lance, Debo, CMC, Bernard, Kittle are all back. The O-line is solid. Banks and Burford have been holding on to dear life, but they're here. They made it the full 5. Defensively brought back Jackson Everything else is the same. You know, arguably could have grabbed another corner here. Slot corner could be a little weak, but you know what? Fine. Exploit that weakness. See what happens. All it's going to do, if our defense gives up a little bit more yardage, a little bit more points than what we want, we're going to score more on offense. Trey Lance is gunning for MVP this year. Oh, just barely. Year 5, 9-8. I think that's our worst record. Maybe once before we had the year we didn't make the playoffs, year 2 or 3. Weird that, you know, it happens here, but it happened. At least it made the playoffs. How did Trey Lance drop off like that? No idea. CMC kills it, as always, as expected. 1,300 yards, 15 touchdowns. Newsome led the receiver room, just down here from everybody. The passing offense wasn't really good enough. Fred Warner and Greenlaw, both over 100 tackles. 17 sacks on 14 TFLs for Bosa. 13.5 sacks, 15 TLs for Armstead. He's been quietly very good in this rebuild. Damn, though, man. Jesus, what a drop-off. Inexplicable drop-off. Mahomes is the MVP. Quickly looking just to see if we have any 49ers. And it is our dude, Nick Bosa, D lineman of the year. He has been absolutely monstrous. I guess at this point, just before we go on this run, let's look at our stats. Who's done what throughout this rebuild for the 49ers? Trey Lance, through 5 seasons, 17,000 passing yards, 137 tutties, 47 picks. Not bad to go in with 23 rushing touchdowns. Obviously, CMC mostly played with the Panthers, but I mean, this is split. 10,000 yards rushing, 106 touchdowns. That's very good. Also, almost 5,000 yards receiving, 30 receiving touchdowns. Debo just shy of 8,000 receiving yards, 59 tutties. Kittle, 8,700 yards, 48 touchdowns. Defensively, Fred Warner, tackle machine, 1,300 tackles. We got 90 sacks on 103 TFLs for Bosa, 93 TFLs, 75 sacks for Armstead, which is very, very good. Even though he's like a hybrid D tackle, I'm very, very pleased with those numbers. We have 15. I mean, Ward did a lot of that with the Chiefs. We got 15 picks. Fred Warner, 10 from Greenlaw, 7 from Hufanga. So we are here in year 5. No pressure. We already won our Super Bowl, but I would love to go and try to defend it again. But up is a big task. 13-4, Minnesota Vikings. And they kind of handle their business there. 28-21. Our offense just wasn't popping. All can be said, done. Our offense just wasn't popping as much as it needed to be popping, especially to defend your Super Bowl title. But with the idea of doing this massive trade, holy shit, Dillard, the hidden dev rookie, was an X factor. That's cool. But in, theme with the CMC trade, it worked out, man. In the context of a 5-year Madden rebuild, McCaffrey not only helped the Niners be one of the most consistently best teams as it relates to regular season wins in the NFL, he also helped to bring them to the Super Bowl. He was amazing. So shout out to Christian McCaffrey. Enjoy him. Please stay healthy. I say this is like the Niners are the Eagles' competition, right? Still, I want to see CMC go off. I want to see him have a great career. I want to see him stay healthy for the 49ers. And as long as we're not playing the Eagles, I hope he absolutely crushes it. So that will do it for me today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. As always, your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. We're very close to 160,000 subscribers on the channel. Smash the like button if you enjoyed. Our like goal for every single Madden 23 upload is 1,000 likes. We'll be back tomorrow with a new episode of the Carolina Panthers franchise, which actually was supposed to go on Thursday, and I forgot to post it. It's a great episode, though. It's arguably my favorite episode of Season 2, so you're going to want to check that out. That'll be up for you guys tomorrow, and who knows what comes in the coming week. New rebuild series, which I'm already kind of working on. I already have a Cardinals rebuild recorded. That'll be out next week as well, so lots of good stuff coming your way. Thank you guys very much for watching, and until next time, it's your boy C4 saying peace out. Love you. Have a good one.